Hello everyone! The clip you're about to hear is from one of our exclusive Patreon episodes on a recent horror release, and just like all of our other episodes, it might include major spoilers for said horror release, so don't listen to it if you haven't already seen it. You've officially been warned. And if you'd like to hear the full episode, just head on over to patreon.com/horrorqueers and subscribe today. Without further ado, here is your exclusive Patreon clip.
It's got a lot of character. I think it's got a lot of period accuracy. The costumes, I think, look really great. Mm-hmm. But that isn't making me, I'm not scared. I don't find this movie tense. I'm not particularly engaged with the storylines of any of these characters. And that shouldn't be the case, even though, yes, you're telling a story about a bit of a dour investigation. Your protagonist is obviously someone who has a bit of a tortured soul. We've seen these things done, but done better. And I think this film is beautiful to look at, but I'm not emotionally engaged.
I agree 100%. And I think also that really brings us to the heart of the issue with this movie, which is you have a murder mystery in which the mystery is not compelling in the slightest, and the investigation into said mystery is not compelling in the slightest. I feel a little stupid saying this. For the first 30 minutes of this movie, I was like, what's happening? How is he going?
It feels aimless.
I had so much trouble following the early parts of this movie and how he was going from place to place. And I actually did watch it again.
Oh, no.
I watched this again. And I mean, it's not even that it doesn't make any sense. It's just that it's just so dull. It is boring. And I feel like that is such a limited term for a critic to say about a movie. I feel like I should be more technical about it. But at the end of the day, I just think this is a boring fucking movie. It is a 2-hour and 10-minute long snooze.
Yeah. It is tricky, right? Because if we were doing a written review of this and we just said, well, this movie is actually boring, absolutely, I would expect people to come at us with pitchforks and torches, because that's not a very good criticism. But you and I being able to have a verbal conversation about why this film is boring, I do think is justified, because we can actually elaborate in greater detail about how this is just not working for us. Because it's not like, oh, I put it on and I wasn't entertained. That's facile. Yeah. You need to be able to go deeper than that. Here, we're literally launched into the investigation immediately. So the movie opens, we've already got a body. Christian Bale is arriving at this academy. I do think one of the problems is that many of the men look very similar, so it's almost hard to distinguish when he's doing these interviews with various cadets. They're all wearing the same uniform, they all have the same kind of period accurate slightly curly hair, and they're not characters. There were a couple of times where I couldn't tell if he was interviewing someone new or if they had come back, and I was just wait, who are you again? There
were multiple times where I was looking at the Patsy character played by Charlotte Gainsbourg, and I knew most of the cast, but I didn't realize she was in it, to the point where I was like, I think that's Charlotte Gainsbourg, but she's lit so darkly in so many of her scenes that I was like, I can't tell. And then of course she's in the credits.
Well, and also she's not a fucking character, so you're just wait, you had Charlotte Gainsbourg and she's a fucking beer wench who's just sleeping with Christian Bale and appears in 3 scenes.
Atlas Avenue, a long stretch of road that encompasses everything the city of Kennett Heights has to offer. Neon lights, traffic, crime, the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and the craziest of characters. My office was above it all. My name is James Locke, and I'm a PI.
Hello, Mr. J. How the hell you doing today?
Good, Edith. Nearly every year I have a new case. New people to meet, new clues to discover, and new problems to solve. But I do it the old-fashioned way. No technology. Nothing post-1950. Hell, I don't even listen to podcasts, but you should. Atlas Avenue Beat is a spoof of the film noir genre with goofy characters, tons of wordplay, and non-stop raunchy humor. There's also 3 whole seasons out right now with more on the way. Just search for Atlas Avenue Beat wherever you listen to podcasts or visit us online at bloody.fm.